Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So we are continuing on with this cool sort of right angle weave embellished weave stitch that I've been playing with. And remember, we did the V-bling necklace and we did the pendant, and then which I turned into an earring. So here's the earring. You're gonna love making this. This is gonna be so, these look so pretty on. They're really pretty. And I'll have a video up for these as soon as I can, but it's a great, it looks so pretty with the necklace. So, but today we're going to work on the bracelet. I know that many of you are anxious to get started on the bracelet. So let me just move these aside and we'll take a look at the bracelet. So I have several different incarnations of the bracelet. This, of course, black and silver, gorgeous, love. All right, so these are black bicones, and I've got some sparkly rondelles in the middle, and the nickel plated 11/0s, and I've just closed it here with what I did is I twisted my loops, and I'll show you how to do that. I've been playing with the endings. It took me forever to get an ending. I know these look simple, but sometimes just one or two beads makes a difference as far as the ending and how it fits. But this one, I love how this one fits, and I'm very happy with the ending. I've got two 8mm fire polish beads closing it, and I just think it's a really pretty accompaniment to the necklace. You don't really, I wanted to end it with beads and with a crystal. So rather than a clasp, and it's a lovely fit. So here it is in the color, the necklace color, which is a palace green opal. And this I ended sort of with a little different twist on a loop. I didn't put a bicone there. I just sort of did a little herringbone attachment, and it just makes the loop a little stronger. And then here, for those of you who like a little bit more embellishment on your piece, I just peyoted the bezel here. Peyoted the loop. So let me just get this on off camera so I don't knock things over. Okay, and so here, so if you want to, just, peyote the loops, it's pretty, and if it spins, it looks pretty on top too. So, you can go as simple as you like, or you can go more ornate, just to show you that there are so many ways you can end it. Me, I prefer the simple, but, it's whatever you like. There are a lot of options. You could make a sweater. Because this is like a fabric. It's so cool. I love it. I'm having so much fun with this, and I see all kinds of fun things in the future. Like, why couldn't we just take some of these center crystals and just randomly put them all over, sew them in all over the place? And you'll see how you'll be able to do that once we get started on the weave. All right, so let's put these aside. I'll put these over here, and let me get a materials list going for you. So here I'll take this one off, and I'll just use this one. I'll just leave this one up here for you to look at. Okay, so there you go. All right, so for this we're going to need bicones, 3mm bicones. And I know, just like with the necklace, it's a lot of bicones. I know. I'm sorry. But that's just what it takes. Now, there have been many of you have posted on Facebook that you use 2mm fire polish, the sort of newish 2mm fire polish beads, and they're much more reasonable. I tried it. It didn't, I like the fit of the bicone better. I have to say that I really do like the fit of the bicone, and you can use 3mm pearls. I still like the fit of the bicone better. It just fits around this right angle weave. The right angle weave unit is almost like made. This 11/0 unit is made for this little crystal, but it still works the other way, and it still looks beautiful. I love the pearls. If you check out Facebook, a lovely lady, beader, posted a beautiful necklace of pearls. So using pearls instead of bicones. Like I said, this is I find the best, my favorite way to make this, but you can certainly, try the 2mm fire polish or the pearls. So I'm going with the bicones, so 3mm bicones. You'll need about, I'd say 250 of them for a, I keep meaning to measure. I think my bracelet is 7 inches, so let me see if I have, I do have my tape right here. Okay, so let me just see, the beaded portion of mine is 5.5. So you need about, I say about 250 for, okay, I'm sorry, the beaded portion, which is 5.5, and my entire bracelet is about 7.25, about 7.25 from tip to tip. So count on having at least 250 to get this made, so you don't want to run out. So as I said, use whatever you have. All right, so you need the bicones, and then you're going to need lots of 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to say you're going to need many grams. I'd get 10 to 15 grams of seed beads, maybe 15, because you have a lot of seed beads going on here. This is seed bead intensive. Lots of seed beads. So pretty. You're going to love this. I'm telling you. It's like a fabric. All right, so make sure you have lots of seed beads. And then you need a center bead right here. This is the embellishment in the center. And I have a 3x4mm rondelle in here, but I'm going to try it with a bicone, a 4mm bicone. So these are the Cyclamen Opal 3mm, and I have a 4mm Amethyst bicone. So I thought that might be a nice contrast right there. Okay, then I have two 8mm Firepolished beads, which are going to be for the ends right there. Okay, you need a size 11 or a size 10 beading needle. I used 6-pound Fireline on the bracelets, all the bracelets I've made so far. I'm going to try 8-pound because it makes such, look at this. This is just, it just conforms to your wrist. It's like a fabric, and I'm wondering if the 8-pound would give it a little more structure. I don't know that it needs more, but I mean, I give it a try because often you'll ask me, can I use 8-pound? Can I use something different? So let's try it with 8-pound, and if it works, then great. And if there's not much of a difference, then I say go for it. Okay, so we're using 6-pound, 8-pound, 6 or 8-pound Fireline, little stop bead. Size 10 or 11. I would use an 11 because you're going through these beads a lot. But just make sure you have, if all you have is a 10 and let's say a 12, just keep the smaller needle around in case you need it. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is about it. There's not a whole lot that goes to this other than lots of bicones and lots of seed beads. All right. So gather up your goodies and we'll get started. Okay. See you in a minute. Okay, so we're back, and I've threaded my needle, and you're going to use a lot of Fireline as well. You're going to use, I'm going to have a small piece on here just so I can stay in camera frame. But I would start with a wingspan or more if you can. I'm going to leave a long tail. You don't have to, you can put I've sewn the ends on with the thread I've used to make the bracelet. However, if you want to sew the ends on separately, I think that's fine. I do, because if something happens and this breaks, as I always say, you won't have to remake the whole thing. I'm going to leave, actually, I'm not going to leave a long tail. I'm just going to leave a little bit, just for, for video purposes. But you can leave a long tail to sew these on, or you can sew it on separately. All right, so this is going to be our sequence. What we're going to do is we're going to make the center part of the bracelet, and the clasps are at the end. So we're going to work back and forth like this. Now, you can make each strip just like the necklace and then put something in the center, but I found a way to do it so that you can just work back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I just thought it was kind of fun, so I'm going to show you that way. Okay, so here are your beads. Okay, so pick up 4 11/0 seed beads, and I'm using dark gold. Okay, getting sort of a vintage look here with the amethyst and the dark gold. Okay, so just put those on, come up the first seed bead, and I'll pull in really tight for this, that's right next to your stop bead. So you're just making a little right angle weave unit. Okay, just like if you made the necklace, you'll be familiar with this. Okay, so hold it up at the top like this. Here's your stop bead over here. Here's your unit, and here's the bottom bead right here. I want you to pick up 3 seed beads. Okay, you're coming out of this side of this bead here. Just come around the other side and make another unit. Put your thumb over it and pull like that. So then you have one unit, and I'm going to pull in a little bit tighter, one unit on top of the other unit, just like that. Okay. Pick up a 3mm bicone and 4 11/0s, just like that. Bring those down, just like that. See? Come up the first seed bead next to the bicone, just like that. Okay, flip the unit up, just like that. So if you did the necklace, you'll know, this will be very familiar to you. Pick up 3 seed beads. You're coming out of the end of this seed bead, this side, come around to make a right angle weave unit. Just like that. Okay? Now you have 2 units and a bicone in the middle. Pick up a 3mm bicone, 4 seed beads, drop those down. Come up the first seed bead after the bicone, just like that. Okay. Pull the unit over to your bicone. Pick up 3 seed beads. You're coming out of this bead, this end, just come around, make another unit on the bottom, just like that. Okay, pick up a 3mm bicone, 4 11/0 seed beads, drop those down, like that. Come up the first seed bead after the bicone. Okay, there you go. If it travels like that, just pull it down, flip it up, and then just pull it down to your bicone. Tension is important here, so make sure that there isn't a lot of space and a lot of thread showing. Just pull, just pull it a bit. 3 11/0 seed beads, you're coming out of here, come around. Pull it in. Now you have 4 units on top of the 11/0 seed beads, 4 on the bottom, and you have 3 bicones in the middle of each one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now take 1 11/0 seed bead, a rondelle or a 4mm bicone, and let's hope the 4mm bicone works. Drop those down, just like that. Okay, pick up 4 11/0 seed beads, drop those down. I want you to come up the second. So you see, you had 1 seed bead here after the bicone, then you added 4 more. Come up the second seed bead after the bicone, just like that, to make a unit. Flip it up, just like that. So you see, you've got a seed bead, a bicone, a seed bead, and then your 4 bead unit. Pick up 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of here, come around, make another unit on the bottom, just like that. Pick up 3mm bicone, 4 11/0 seed beads, drop those down. Come up the first seed bead after the 3mm bicone. Give it a pull. Flip your unit to the top. 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of this bead here. Just come around. Make a unit. Attach a unit to the bottom, just like that. So you see what we have so far? We're working across. Pick up a 3mm bicone, 4 seed beads, drop those down, come up the first seed bead after the 3mm bicone. Flip the unit up, add 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of this side, come around, right through there, just like that. Okay, just like that. Pick up a 3mm bicone, 4 seed beads. So we're setting up the first 2 rows here. Okay, bring those down, just like that. Come up the first seed bead after the 3mm bicone, just like that. And see how it's traveled all the way down? Just pull it, flip it up, make sure everybody's straight. Pick up 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of here, come around, go through here, and you have your first setup row done, just like that. Okay, now I want you to take, you're coming out of this bead, come down through the next bead and the bottom bead of that unit, just like that. Okay, just like that. Add 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of this side, come around, make a unit on the bottom, just like that. I'm going to pull some of my 3mm over here. 3mm bicone. You're coming out of here, right there. Just go through the next 11/0 seed bead at on the bottom of that next unit, right there. Okay, just like that. 3 seed beads. You're coming out of here, come around, put a unit on. It's all right angle weave units here. Okay, pick up a 3mm bicone, go through the bottom seed bead of the next unit, right here. See that? Just give it a pull. Don't pull super tight, just make sure no thread is showing. Pick up 3 11/0 seed beads, coming out of here, right there, come around, make another unit, just like that. 3mm bicone, come through the next seed bead of the next unit, bottom seed bead of that next unit, just like that. Okay, all right, so we're at the point again where we're going to put our embellishment on in the middle, but we're not going to do a bicone, we're going to do 3 11/0 seed beads. You're coming out of here, just come across, oops, sorry, don't do that. Pick up 3 11/0 seed beads. And this is important actually, I'm glad I missed that. It's very easy to forget to put this next unit on. You always want to make sure you have 4 units, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more here. Because if you don't have all 4 units on, so each side has 4 right angle weave units, then you'll have nothing to connect the next row to. And I found that I did that a lot. I kept forgetting to put this 1 unit on. Don't forget that. Write it down if you have to and put it in front of you because otherwise you're going to go through a whole row and then you're going to come here and you're not going to have anything to attach the next row onto and you're going to get frustrated like I am, like I did. Okay, so 3 11/0 seed beads. After you have that unit on, come through the next, whoops, yes, come through the next, see the seed bead, the bottom seed bead of the next unit. So that's going to be that second, your embellishment in the second. So you've got a line of 3 11/0 seed beads and you have a bicone. Okay, so don't forget to put the next unit on. 1, 2, 3 11/0s. You're coming out of this bead right here. See this? Come around, make a unit. So we're just making lots of right angle weave units with our 11/0 seed beads, and then we're putting crystals in between. Okay, so then we're back to a 3mm bicone. You're coming out of here, pop through the next seed bead, just like that. 3 11-0 seed beads. You're coming out of this bead here, right on the side. Come around, make your unit. 3 millimeter, just like that. 3 seed beads. I'm loving the amethyst and the cyclamen opal. Isn't that pretty? It's sort of very vintagey looking, isn't it? I love this one. I think I might have to keep this one. Okay, pick up a 3 millimeter, go through the bottom seed bead of the next unit, just like that. And don't forget to put your next unit on. 3 seed beads. You're coming out of here, come around, just like that. There you have it. Okay, so you're coming out of here, right here. This bead right here, just come down the next 2. You just want to get to the bottom seed bead. I'm going to put it down here of the next unit. Just like that. And there you go. We'll do one more. I'll just get you one more bicone on, and then I'm going to leave you off by, let you go off by yourself. So 3 seed beads, just like that. You're coming out of here. Come around, just like that. 3 millimeter bicone, bottom seed bead of the next unit. So you see, all you're doing here is you're just putting bicones in between your right angle weave units. Okay, just like that. 3 millimeter bicone through the bottom seed bead of the next unit, just like that. 3 11-0s. Coming out of here, just come around. Make another unit. 3 millimeter bicone through the next bottom seed bead of the next unit. Now don't forget to put on your 3 seed beads here. Right there. Now, as I said, make sure that you always have 4 of your right angle weave units before you put on your next embellishment. So then seed bead, 4 millimeter bicone, seed bead, come through the bottom seed bead of the next unit. And I really am liking the way the bicones are fitting in here. I love that contrast. That's actually, might like them better than the fire polish. 3 seed beads, you're coming out of here, come through the other side to make another unit. Now make sure when you do these units that you don't twist it. You can end up twisting them and then they don't sit well. So, make sure your tension is good and you're not twisting anything. Okay, come through 3 millimeter through the next seed bead, 3 seed beads, make another unit, 3 millimeter bicone, bottom seed bead of the next unit, 3 seed beads, make another unit, bicone, next seed bead, 3 seed beads, make another unit, come on down to the bottom seed bead of that unit, and this is what you're going to have. How cool is that? I totally love these colors together. I think this is going to be a really pretty one. So keep doing that. Just keep going back and forth, alternating between a bicone and 3 seed beads. Bicone, 3 seed beads. Bicone, 3 seed beads. And you'll have your whole center done. Okay, so just keep doing that and do that for, I said my bracelet is a 7 1/4. So 5 1/2, I think it was 5 1/2. Let me just measure it again. I don't want to make sure it's right. So as about 5.5 inches of this weave, and then we'll sort of do a little reducing, down here to make these points. Okay, so it'll take you a little while. It grows pretty quickly, so go ahead and play, have fun, add thread if you need to. Now I showed you a cool way to add thread on the necklace video, and that's using a stop bead, so you can go back and check that out if when you need to add thread. But you're going to need a lot. You're probably going to need 9 feet of thread to get this done. It's very thread intensive, but really pretty. I think you're going to love it. So go on and play, and then meet me back here and we'll continue. Okay, so we're back, and I finished my 5.5 inches, and a couple of things. One, the 8-pound Fireline worked great. I love it. It gives it a teeny bit more solidity. And it otherwise it's still as flexible. It's I like it. I think I might suggest 8-pound Fireline instead of 6. It still makes a lovely fabric and gives you a little bit more. It's a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so I've come down to the end. Another thing, when you end the same way at either end. So either have a crystal showing or the line of 3 seed beads. Okay, so either one. But make sure that each one is at either end, just for continuity's sake, so it looks nice. So here I am, I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add your ending on, rather than using the thread you have. Just, in case it breaks, I think, and it's a good way to sort of reinforce the ends of the bracelet. So here's the thread that I'm using now. I'm just going to get that out of the way, but I'm going to come around my right angle weave unit, just like that. Go, just like that. So I'm just gonna sew my threads through a little bit. I come through just like that. I'm gonna come up. Now there's plenty of room in these beads. We're going to use them again, but there's plenty of room in them, so you can go. You can go through these. The more reinforcing, the better. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to bring it through just like that. Come through this one. Come down. These again. And at this point, I'm just going to leave it, just to keep it out of my way for now. So I've just kind of stopped there. And eventually I'm going to tie some half hitch knots. But I just wanted to get the thread out of my way so we can start. So I've threaded a new needle, or thread, the needle that you have, with about 1.5 feet of Fireline. You can put a little stop bead in the middle of the Fireline. So let me grab a little stop bead. Should make it a different color than your project, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to do that. So I'm just going to put it in the middle, and I'm going to even out the ends a bit, maybe one end a little bit longer, the one we're using, the first end, okay? So then go back. So here we are. Here's the end of our bracelet, and I'm going to pull in for this. Count 3 bicones, and then go through that entire row. Okay, so you've gone back 3 bicones. You went through this seed bead, and you're going through the entire row. There's plenty of room in there, even though you've reinforced by going that direction. You haven't tied any knots yet. So go all the way through. Check the back to make sure you haven't missed a bead. Pull that through to the stop bead. Okay, just like that. All right, don't worry about your other thread. Okay, come through this seed bead here, then come back down this row, all the way through. And this is really good because it reinforces the end again, because it is a fabric, and it's a lacy fabric, sort of, and so you want to make sure that it's nice and secure at the ends. All right, so just come through the next seed bead. Don't pull too tight. Then go through the next line right here. This is the last group of, the last row of beads that we put on. Just make sure you get through all the beads. And if you can't get them all at once, then just do a few at a time. Look in the back. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to pull this through, just like that. Okay, and then I'm going to just continue on. Just make sure you don't miss anything. Just like that. Needle your way through that last seed bead, just like that. And then turn it around, take a look. Did you miss anything? No? Okay. Alright, so now we're ready. Okay, I'm going to pull it right up to that stop bead, just like that. So now I'm ready to start making a point on here. Alright, so I'm going to pick it up. I'm coming out of this seed bead right here. I'm going to go through these two to the end bead of that unit, just like that. I'm going to pick up a 3mm bicone. I'm going to go through the next seed bead of the next unit, just like that. Pick up 3 seed beads. You're coming out of here, come around, put on your unit, just like that. 3mm bicone, go through the next unit, the next seed bead of the next unit. 3 bicones, come around, put on another unit, pick up a bicone, come through like so. Alright, so there you have, and you're not going to put another unit on. This is the end, just like that. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to come around this unit. It's lovely that these are all right angle weave units because there's so much opportunity to bring your thread through. So let me just move the thread that I tied off. Okay, here, so I've come through this one. I'm going to come through, let's see, I'm going to come through this one right here. See here, that one, and then through these again. See that? So I'm coming out of here. I'm going to go through this one, still going around my right angle weave unit, but I'm going straight now. I'm going to go through. Now we're filling up with thread a little bit, but not too much to get through. So go through just like that, and it's getting nice and make sure you get through that last seed bead. It's getting reinforcing nicely over here. Okay, so here we go, just like that. Pick it up, come through these two. The bicone, just like that, just give it a pull, and then these two. Okay, so you just want to get to that point right there. Now when I pull, it'll tighten up. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to give it a pull, just like that. Make sure everybody's nice and tight. Okay, just like that. Alright, so give that a pull. I'm a little loose right there, so I'm just going to give that a tug. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take, let's see, I have to look at my other one. So I'm going to take 2 11-0s. Thinking of using this big crystal. Let's try the 4mm. 4mm, an 11-0, and my 8mm Amethyst Firepolished bead. Just like that. Okay. 3 11-0s. Come back through the fire polish, the 4mm, and this 1 11-0 underneath the 4mm, just like that. Pull, make sure that turns into a little picot. Just like that. Okay. Pick up 1 11-0, come through, okay, here's the 1 11-0, come through this seed bead right here, just like that, to attach the piece on, just like that. See? Now you're attached. Now you just want to come around your unit again. So here we're coming around the right angle weave unit, just like that. and you want to come through here. You're going to the next right angle weave unit right there, then come up this seed bead right here. Okay, just like that. Oops. Through here, then up your clasp again, up your little bead, just like that. See how it's tightening up nicely? Okay, through the fire polish, through the picot, okay, back down, through all your beads again, just like that, through here, just like that, back through your unit again, your right angle weave unit again, just like that. That's a nice tight end now, okay? You see, so see how secure that is? That's not going anywhere. And then at this point, you want to do that again, and you know, just make it nice and tight. So come up, come back around, and then come around here, come through here and tie some half hitch knots, and then take the thread from the other side that you have on here, thread your needle, and do the exact same thing on this side, and then meet me back here and we'll do the other end. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, we're back for a second because I just want to make sure that you're you don't get confused at this end. So this was, I took off the stop bead and I snaked my thread up through here. I put on the last 3 bicones with these 2 right angle weave units in, and you're going to end up coming out of this seed bead right here. So you want to get back to the beginning again. So just go through, you're going to go right through the right angle weave unit again. So anytime you need to, get to another place, just go through your right angle weave units. They're, as I said before, the perfect opportunity for you to snake through to get to where you need to be. Okay, so we're just going to come through. Now we're getting a little tight, but still definitely doable. Okay, so just come through. Just coming down to the end again. Okay, so we've snaked around, and then just make sure you come through that last seed bead. Okay, just like that. Come through like that. So I'm just positioning my needle. I'm just moving around and positioning my needle and getting a nice crisp end by doing it this way. Okay, so just like that. All right, and then just like before, you're going to take 2 seed beads, a bicone, a seed bead, and your fire polish, just like that. Bring those down. 3 11-ohs. Come on through. I really like the come through the seed bead, bicone seed bead. I love the little crystals at the end, especially the time of year when everything sparkles so pretty. Be pretty with some beautiful Swarovski 8mm crystals too. 1 seed bead, come through this guy, right? Just like that, just to get your point. All right, so there you go. And then just do that again, reinforce, and then meet me when you're done, and we'll get this end done. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back, and we're still on this end because I'm going to change things up a little bit. So you're in my head right now while I'm designing. Sorry, but I think what happened here was because I used the 4mm bicone in the middle, it made a wider bracelet. So you see, it's not that much wider, but it's a little bit, and wide enough that I think it would benefit from a 3rd fire polish here for the closure. This one I think is fine with just the 2, but it's a little wide here, so let's put one on. So this is kind of interesting, okay? So what I want to do is, I'm going to pull in a little bit. I want to come up, see this right angle weave unit here, 1 2 3 4. I want to come up this bead. So I'm not going to do it, but snake your way around till you get to this bead. I just put a stop bead on. I'm just going to hold it right there. I just want to get this started. Okay, so I'm coming up through this bead of this little unit right here. I'm going to pick up 4 11-ohs, a 4mm bicone, an 11-0, the fire polish. Bring those down, okay, just like that. Just think that's going to work out. 3 11-0s. Come on back through the fire, skip over the 3 11-0s, come through the fire polish, the 11-0, the bicone and the 11-0. That'll pull. And we'll sew all these ends in. Okay, just like that. Take 3 11-0s. And now I want you to come through the corresponding bead on the other side. So here's the little unit right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to come through this one. Okay, and pull that on just like that. Make sure you're... And so when I put it out like this, they should all be in the same place. See? Okay, so that's perfect. All right, so then just from this point, just come around, go through this one, the crystal, the bead after the crystal. I have a little stop bead in the way there. Let me pull that down a bit. Okay, come back up and through all your beads again to reinforce it. And do that a couple of times just like you did before. Just like that. Okay. And that'll get, and reinforce it so it's nice and tight. And then I think that's so much better. Then we'll go to the other side and we really will finish up this time. Okay, see you in a few. Okay, so we're back and I'm really happy with the 3 beads at the end. And I like the little sort of openness of the center there. So that worked out well. A little designing on the fly. Okay, so here's my other end and we're going to do these little loops now. And we're going to twist them just like these. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other end. So I put on a couple of feet of Fireline, a little stop bead in the middle. So put the stop bead in the middle of the thread. So you can have one thread coming out here, and eventually once we weave around a little bit, you can have one thread coming out on this end. And the only thing about the 8-pound Fireline is that it's coming off on my hands, and that was a big complaint of mine in the past. But it's working out really well for this. So get your stop bead on. Make sure you're kind of half, maybe a little bit more thread at the end of the where your needle is, just because you're going through the beads a couple of times. All right, so here we are, and sorry about the Fireline fingers. Just going to go down. Just going to weave my way through. This is, you know, just to give some make it a little more rigid at the end and reinforced so that your clasp stays on nicely. So I'm just coming down. Just make sure that you come through all the beads, and the way you make sure is just look on the back and make sure there's no thread coming across anywhere. All right, so then I'm going to come through here. And then back up through the last row. Just take your time, get through all the beads. Make sure you're going through the right beads. This bracelet will really sort of get you super familiar with right angle weave. If you haven't done it that much, you're going to see right angle weave everywhere after this, which is a good thing. You know, to me, learning to bead, everything, it's all practice. The more you do it, the more you see, you'll be able to observe things and see like where you could attach here and what you can, what you can use to as far as stitches to be very creative in your bead weaving. So the more you practice, the better. So come on up here, just like that. All right, and we're going to, oops, I forgot my crystals. Let me grab my crystals. down. So pick up a $3mm Bicone, pop that through, 3 seed beads, make another unit, another crystal, pop on another unit, and another crystal. Just like that. Okay? Now go through your little right angle weave unit. This is what I'm talking about when you're learning. So remember, I'm going to pull in a little bit because I want this to be a teaching moment. So here's your unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not this one. This little 4 group here. Make sure you just go around the unit, just like that. Pop through, just like that. Okay. Come back up. Come through these two. Just want to get to the point again. And by doing going around this way, you're really, making this nice and solid and giving it structure. All right. So now I have to look at my instructions. So 2 11/0s come through the unit like that. Now we're going back down through the right angle weave unit, just like that. Come across. It's a little weaving around in this. We're really doing some weaving here. But it's all, in an effort to make this nice and strong. Okay, so here we're coming out of this bead right here. Here's your unit, right? So just come up the unit and come up through the 2 side beads of the unit plus that one of the beads that you put on, one of those 2 beads, just like that. Okay, so here we are. We're coming out of this bead right here. Okay, so add 20, I think it's 24, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23. I think it's 24 or 26. So you just want to make sure your crystal, depending on your crystal size, like when I used the Rondelle on the green bracelet, it required more beads. So just make sure that you're, just test it, see if your crystal fits through. Okay. So then we're just going to, so we have our loop beads on right there. We're just going to come back down through this group again, just like that. Okay, and you see how it automatically twists it? Just like that. Okay, go back through your right angle weave units, just like that. And then reinforce your beads. So we're coming through this unit again, right here. Let's see if I can get that a little more clear for you. Okay, so here's the right angle weave unit right here. Come through and then go around and reinforce all your beads. Okay, so you're going to come around, come down, just like so. Come around, just like that. And you want to do this a couple of times to get your loop nice and reinforced. So you can go through again. There's lots of room in there. Don't worry about it, okay? So do that, and then leave your thread like that, and do the other side, okay? And then we'll put this third loop on at the end. So you can get this, you can get this one done, and here's your thread for the other side. You can get that one done, and then we'll just we'll add that third loop in. Okay, so I'll get this one done, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we're back, and I've gotten my other loop on, and now if you've done the smaller version, you're done. You don't need to continue here, right? You're just doing the two loops, unless you want to put a third one on. I guess you could put a third one on anyway. Now, because we're adding this loop on, you know, it wasn't in the original design, I told you, you know, in the last segment to leave your thread coming out of this seed bead of this 4 bead unit, and here I'll pull in on this. Okay, so remember we did this, we reinforced, went around, came up again, reinforced again, came around and come out of this bead. So this is where you'll be coming out. This is where you were coming out, and I told you to leave that thread there. So of course we're going to use it. Now, if you are watching this video and then you're going to make the bracelet, if you don't, you know, I'm adding this third loop on because it wasn't, as I said, in the original design, but you can just continue on here. So let's say you've come out here, you've put your first loop on, you can do your next loop right here. Okay, so do it the same way, add your next loop on, okay, and then come through, reinforce it, come through again. So you can do all 3 loops in a row, but because I'm adding it on, I'm going to be doing it separately. So pick up 4, 5, 6, 8 seed beads. You're coming out of here, okay? And I want to do this twist. That's why I'm doing it this way. Otherwise, I would just put on 4 seed beads. I'd put on a bicone. I'd make my loop, you know, go through the bicone and come out again. Okay, but I want to do this twisted loop, so this is why I'm putting it on this way. So I have 8. Make sure I have 8. 8 seed beads coming out of here. I'm just going to hop over to the next one right there. It almost looks weird, but it works. Come down your right angle weave unit. Yeah, that little unit right there. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come through here. Come across. Through. Make sure you can see that. The bicone, the seed bead. Right here. And the second seed bead. I can't get through the second one in one swoop, so I'm just going to pull this through. My needle's kind of stuck a little bit. Okay, there you go. It wasn't really stuck, it was just in a weird position. Come through this seed bead as well. Right here. Oops. Come on, you. Shouldn't be stuck. Okay, there you go. Alright, so here we are. We're coming out of this seed bead of this 4 bead unit right here. See the seed bead right there? Go up the next seed bead. Just want to make sure you can see that. Just like that. I bent my needle a bit. I think I have a size 12 needle on this. Okay. That next seed bead. Just going around that little unit again. Through this one. Right here, just using that right angle weave unit, and then up 4 seed beads, just like that, and then come out the tip right there. Add your 24 seed beads. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or how many seed beads it takes for you to get around your crystal. I think I need 24 or maybe even 22. Just make sure, because you want it to fit snugly. Bring those down. Come across to this seed bead and go down these 4 right here and right through the top seed bead of that right angle weave unit. See that right there? Pull those down. It will automatically twist, just like that. Okay. come down your unit again, going through that right angle weave unit, just like that. And then through all those seed beads again. So go around here, come through, down again, and reinforce this a couple of times, and then meet me back here, and we'll have a bracelet. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, we're back, and here's our bracelet. Pretty. Here's the bottom. I love the back. I really like the 3 beads there. I think it gives it some, it looks really pretty with 3. You don't have to do the 3. You don't really need it, but for this wider bracelet, I think you do. So there you go. There's your bracelet. Here's your, the other 2 bracelets. I'll pop the earrings out. I happen to have those nearby. These are coming up. The earrings are coming up. The necklace you have, I don't have that in front of me. So here you go. So you have a cool little set going. So here's the bracelet. I hope you make it. Hope you post it on Facebook. I hope that you learned some things from the video, because we did do a little designing as we went along, which was kind of cool. And it just goes to show you that, you know, you change one bead, and then maybe, you know, you might have to change a whole bunch of things, you know, or you might have to change something at the end, or, you know, so just be aware that that can happen. And now you have kind of ways to, you know, that you can say, okay, so I put a bigger bead here. How can I still make this fit? Okay, so here you go. Here's the sleeve. All right. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And the giveaway announcement will be coming up probably on Monday. I'm closing the contest, the giveaway on, you know, Sunday night. So I'll, you know, next week I'll make a video with the winner. We'll pick the winner and make a video. All right. Take care. See you on the next video. Bye-bye.